Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Keto Mom page. My name is Stephanie. We are diving into the book. We're diving into the book. How is your morning going? Where are you tuning in from? And is it warm or cold? We could say freezing. We're in Minnesota. We have I don't know if you can see the fire. Let's see. Oh, there it is. We've got a fire started. And it's supposed to snow tomorrow. Our kids are actually excited about it, but we will see. We will see. Good morning. Where are you tuning in from? All right. So Keto Mom page. What is this page about? It's about lots of different things. How to help you on your keto low carb journey. There are always recipes and tips and tricks here. You can scroll through the page all the way back to 2015. So there is no shortage of recipes and tips and tricks to help you on your journey, especially if you're brand new. The mornings, I feel, are super important to help you with your mindset, because if your mindset isn't right, you're not going to make the right choices. I mean, that's the easiest way to say it, is if you are negative, if you don't believe that you can do it, if you are letting the world run your life and you're not making decisions, then guess what? You're probably not going to reach those goals that are somewhere out here that you're wanting. So I love the mornings for morning mindset to help you get focused, stay focused, believe that you can truly do it. So this book, while it's not specifically about the keto diet, it really helps you understand. It's called Chasing Daylight, and it's about just making choices in your life, capitalizing on the moments, understanding that you can do it. Lots of different things. And so today we are on page 111 for those of you who like to follow along page by page, for those who like to tune in here and just take one sentence to think about it throughout the day. Welcome. Good morning. All right. So it talks about the power of influence. And so I underlined a couple of things I wanted to share with you. He's a great storyteller. So he's a pastor in LA. His name is Erwin McManus. It's an incredible book. I highly recommend to grab it and go through it so you can read all the stories. But he says, many times we conclude that we are powerless because we cannot change things up. Those who hold a position of power and authority simply will not see things our way. All too often, when we cannot change things up, we conclude that we cannot change anything. And so I've been talking about this on the afternoon lives, but something that my husband and I did in lots of different areas of our life. We've done this with our church. We've done this with our business, is understanding that your life has like different spokes to it, right? So it's kind of like a wheel. And you've got your spiritual part of your life, your relationships, your finances, your emotions, which play a huge part in the decisions that you make. And then we have our physical. So a lot of you are working on your physical. I've been talking a lot about emotions and making sure you understand your emotions and reacting versus responding. But you also have spiritually, relationships, and finances. And if one of the spokes is broken, then you tend to see other areas in your life not going as well. And so what I love about this book is it's not just about your physical, but it's going to address all of the areas, right? You might feel like right now your biggest challenge is your physical. I also want you just to take a step back and look at your whole life. How are your finances? Does that play a part in your choices that you eat or your emotions? Oftentimes I'll say, are you eating out of emotion? Relationships. This is going to talk about the power of authority versus influence, or spiritually, or physically. All of these things, whether you like it or not, play a factor in if you truly are going to get healthy or not. Because physically, you want to feel good, but what can affect that? Your finances, your relationships, spiritually, your emotions, all of that plays a factor in your choices. So it is good to just be aware of where you're at in all of these areas so that you can go, oh, the reason why I'm not at where I'm at physically, where I want to be physically, is maybe one of those spokes is broken, right? Or maybe you're like, I really need to work on my emotions, or I really need to work on my relationship with my spouse or my kid, because then I wouldn't emotionally eat. Make sense? So in these next few pages, he talks about the power of authority and influence. And oftentimes I will get a lot of questions of people saying, how do I make my family do this with me? How do I make my family get healthy? How do I make my spouse do this with me? Everybody at my work, nobody will do this with me. I don't have the accountability. My friends laugh at me, right? And so I thought this was really great. He says, how many times have we concluded that we are powerless to make a difference because the available resources are withheld from us? So he talks about the available resources. He talks about making choices. Ultimately, choices 100%. Everything you do throughout the day is up to you. So if we're just talking about food, what you eat for breakfast, what you eat for lunch, what you eat for dinner, snacks, if you work out, it's a choice. You choose to do it or not to do it. You choose to eat it or not to eat it. He talks about the power of authority and how often we can have other people decide what we do, right? Or we think we're letting them. Well, let me read this to you. He talks about influences versus authority. He goes, if you want to help change other people's lives, if you want to have somewhat of a voice, you might have people that are an authority in your life. And you don't like how they handle situations. They might do it out of like a hierarchy. But if you truly want to help change other people's lives, if you want to help your family, have other people join you, have your friend or somebody at your work, you want to talk about, you're going to want to have influence. And what does that mean? This is the essence of influence, to win hearts and souls of other people through the strength of your own character and your personhood. Who are you? Who are you? And all of these spokes, right? If you want other people to follow you, you want to have not authority but influence. Look at your character and the things that you're portraying and the things that you're speaking and the things that you are guiding people into. This is why influence is always more powerful than authority. Authority can shape what a person does, but influence shapes who a person becomes. Influence is born out of trust and finds its strength in the connection and hearts and souls. He tells a ton of stories, but he says, what do you see? It's hidden, right? He says influence has a key word in it. He says flu, F-L-U. He goes, just like the flu, influence will penetrate into people's lives because they trust you, they see you, they like your character. If you want to help other people around you, if you want other people to join you, you need to look at your character and what you're portraying, right? Hey, girls, good morning. He says this, all of us pass a bit of ourselves onto others. You better like who you are and make what you give to others. And make what you give to others from yourself a gift and not a curse. So he just talks about the power of authority, the power of influence. If your goal is to influence others, you need to look at your character. You need to look at how you're talking to people. You need to look at all of these little spokes, right? You can't give what you don't have. What are you hoping to give? Who do you want to influence? You might be going, maybe you just need to influence yourself. You need to love yourself. And as you learn to do that, you have people in your lives. Everybody does. They're watching you. They might not say anything, but they're watching you. And clearly you are here to become better, whatever that better is. And so don't let other people's authority make you feel like you don't have a word or a say or you can't take control of your own life, because yes, you can. 100%. It's choices and moments every single day. So we read on. I'm going to stop at, let's see. He says, oftentimes divine moments look like inconveniences on the front end, but in the end are conveniences. The book is great. I wish I could read all the stories, but I can't. So I'm going to end on page 122. But my hope is that you just understand that you have the influence over your own life. You can make decisions. You can make choices. And if your goal is to have people join you, don't think about it being a dictator, but thinking about being like, who am I? What does my character portray? Am I a person that somebody wants to follow? And work on being that person, not being like the right? I know most of you want your spouse or your family to do this with you, but as you lead by example, eventually they will follow you. Nobody wants to follow a dictator. Everybody wants to follow people who make, it's like the book says, touches their hearts and their soul. So anyways, the book is great. Continue to read on. Here's the book for those who had asked. And again, I'm always here to help. So if it's food or recipes or mindset, whatever it is, reach out with any questions that you have. So reach out. I will answer you. I answer all of the questions that come in every single day. Otherwise, continue to tune into the page. I'm always here to help. My children are just waking up, so I'm going to go snuggle them. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you soon.